morning and welcome to Radio Friends. This is Thursday, June the 11th, and on the phone with us right now, I have KAYLA CURRY, who is at her home in Jefferson City, safe and sound. Good morning, KAYLA.
Good morning.
KAYLA is here to talk to us about the Ombudsman program. And now, things are operating a little differently right now because of the coronavirus pandemic. But if it were not for the pandemic, if we were not in that situation, how does the Ombudsman program normally function?
Right. So an ombudsman is someone who helps residents in long-term care facilities maintain and improve their quality of life by helping ensure that their rights are preserved and respected. And so the way it's set up is that we have paid staff who we refer to as regional ombudsman coordinators, or we call them ROCs. And then we have trained volunteers who go into the facilities as well to help advocate for the residents. Typically, if there's an issue, they would call the Ombudsman program, and then we would respond by going out to the facilities to investigate it and see what we can do to help. And of course, now we are no longer allowed into the facilities as a way to prevent the spread to residents because they are a vulnerable population. And so the way it's working now is they can still call us. We are still there to help advocate for them and help solve any problems that they might be having. But now we're doing it via phone. So we're doing more of the investigation work to the phone versus going into the facilities.
The first question that pops into my head then, since you're not able to go into the facility, how are you actually verifying that any problems that you're hearing about are being rectified?
Well, the way that we do that is we follow up with the resident. So if they call and they have an issue, then we would work through it with the staff, see what we can do to help resolve it. And then we would follow up with them and say, hey, has this been resolved? Is it going okay? So that's really the only way is just to call, just do that follow-up, do our due diligence and follow up just to make sure that it has been resolved.
What authority do you have as an ombudsman if you find out the issue has not been resolved?
Well, it kind of depends on the situation. Now, if it is as severe as like abuse or neglect, then we would get our regulatory agency involved. There's also the adult abuse and neglect hotline, and then, like I said, the regulatory agencies as well. But I mean, as far as the Ombudsman program, we're more just as an advocate to make sure that the residents are, getting taken care of and that their rights are still upheld.
What common problems that you're asked to help resolve?
So one of the more common problems we have are really just the quality of care that they receive. Sometimes it's, call lights not being answered. And most of the time it's simply because facilities are short-staffed. There's also something, is more on the minor side, like the food, like the quality of food as far as the taste, the temperature. And then, like I said, more on the severe side of the situations of abuse and neglect.
Do you see that very often as far as abuse and neglect? I guess sometimes it's hard to say often, but I would say yes. But that's not, as far as the Ombudsman program, it's not an everyday thing. Most of the time those reports go straight to the adult abuse and neglect hotline. What is it that people listening to us right now, if they have concerns, any concerns for their relatives who may be in a facility, what is the best thing that they can do? How can they handle the situation themselves?
Well, as far as handling the situation themselves is just that communication with the facility. They can always call and talk to whoever's taking care of the resident. I mean, whether it's the director of nursing or the administrator, just really whoever is there, whoever's that point of contact there at the facility. And if they feel like they're not getting anywhere, again, they can call the Ombudsman program, and we can see what we can do to help facilitate that communication.
You've been part of this program for some time. Do you find that most facilities are eager to work out any problems that are brought to their attention?
Yeah, we do. I mean, we like to believe that the facilities are doing the best that they can, especially now with the COVID situations. And a lot of times the facilities will reach out to us as well because we can be that middle ground person who might help facilitate that communication between the resident and the staff. And of course, we're always on the resident side. You know, we always try to resolve the situation to the resident satisfaction, but we do find that facilities do find us as a resource to help work out any issues that there may be.
Right. I understand that. And I appreciate what you are doing and what you're trying to do, and especially during the difficult situation that we have with this coronavirus pandemic. Do you see, and we're just about out of time, but do you see any changes in general coming to the way facilities are caring for their residents at this point?
We do see, again, we really think that facilities are trying their best. You know, again, it's hard to see since we're not in there, but what we are seeing is that they really are, for the most part, they're trying to do what they can to help provide comfort to the residents because, you know, right now residents are dealing with isolation and they're not getting that contact, that one-on-one contact with their family members that they normally would be. And so we are hearing of facilities that are doing what they can just to try to help ease that burden on the residents.
I see, everybody. It's a difficult time. I thank you for what you're doing, and we wish you the very best of luck. KAYLA, thank you so much for visiting with us today. And if people want more information about the Ombudsman program, they can go online to check it out, correct?
Yes.
All right. We're out of time for today. Tomorrow, Barbara Buffalo from the city of Columbia will be with us talking about recycling, but most important, reusing over and over again. Thanks for joining us today. Bye-bye for now.